Hello students, before we start our chapter, I would like to request you all to watch our introductory 2 videos given by me so that you will be clear about the 3-step strategy to do Dhamaka in physics exams. We have given the videos in the description box, or you can just click on our videos displayed at the end of this video for either introductory 2 videos or the next videos. Okay then, let's enjoy physics by Mr. Patel, who has a long, profound experience of 29 years of teaching physics in Sainik School, Balachar.
Lange's law and conservation of energy. The statement of the Lange law states that the polarity of induced EMF is such that it tends to produce a current which opposes the change in the magnetic flux that produces it. The direction of the induced EMF is such that it opposes the very cause producing in it. According to the Lange law, an induced EMF is given as E is equal to minus d phi by dt. For a coil of n turns, the induced EMF is given by E is equal to minus n d phi by dt, as already we have discussed. When the north pole of a, let us discuss this, explain the Lange law. When the north pole of a bar magnet is being pushed towards the closed coil, the magnetic flux through the coil increases. When the north pole is pushed or moved towards the coil, this is a coil, then the magnetic flux, number of lines of force linked with the closed circuit will increase. That is, flux will increase. Flux is the number of lines of force passing normally through the area. When the north pole of a bar magnet is being pushed towards the closed coil, the magnetic flux through the coil increases. Hence, the current is induced in the coil in such a direction that it opposes the increase in the flux. So, induced current. So, whenever we know, whenever there is a change in the magnetic flux linked with the circuit, an induced EMF is generated, which lasts so long as change takes place. When flux increases, the induced EMF E and hence current. Induced current is such that it opposes the flux, increasing the flux. That is, it tends to decrease the flux. How it is possible? That is, it develops the north pole toward the magnet side in such a direction that it opposes the increase in the flux. So, if flux increases, it tends to decrease the flux, that opposes the increase of the flux. This is possible only if the current in the coil is in the counterclockwise. So, it is possible when there is a north pole is towards the develop in the coil towards the magnet side, that is, the current in the coil is anti-clockwise. That is, you can say that this is an N for the north pole, the direction shows the induced current. So, this current produces a north pole, the polarity is such that it produces a north pole. Our current is in the anti-clockwise, counterclockwise or anti-clockwise direction. So, it tends to decrease the flux. When we push, the flux increases, so it tends to oppose that increase in the flux. This is possible only the current in the coil is in the counterclockwise direction with respect to the observer situated on the side of the magnet. Similarly, the magnetic moment associated with this current is a north polarity toward the north pole of the approaching magnet. So, when magnet approaches, flux increases and north pole is induced on the side of the magnet. Similarly, when north pole is withdrawn, when we move the magnet away from the coil, correct? So, flux decreases, flux will decrease. So, it opposes the decrease in the flux. It tends to oppose the decrease in the, वो decrease होने नहीं देता, है ना? That is, the polarity of the current is such that it is a clockwise direction, that is, south pole is developed, correct? Similarly, if the north pole of the magnet is being withdrawn from the coil, the magnetic flux through the coil will decrease. Number of lines of force linked with the circuit will decrease when it moves away naturally. To counter this decrease in the magnetic flux, it tends to counter the decrease in the magnetic flux. The induced current in the coil flows in clockwise direction. The induced current in the coil flows clockwise direction. and its south pole faces the receding north pole. So, south pole is developed, that is, it faces the receding north pole is receding. So, here it is south pole. When north pole moves, it develops north pole. When north pole is recedes or moves away from the coil circuit, then it produces S pole. So, it tends to oppose that, decreasing the flux. Correct. This would result in an attractive force which opposes the motion of the magnet and corresponding decrease in the flux. Correct. It opposes always. So, when north pole is moved, it develops a north pole, so it will repel, tend to repel. When north pole is moved away, it develops the south pole, so it attacks. It tends to attack towards it. Here it tends to repel towards it. When we push it, it tends to push away from the coil, that is repel away. When we move away the north pole, then it tends to oppose that moving away, that is, it develops south pole, so it attacks. Now, Lenz law and the law of conservation of energy. Whenever a magnet is moved towards or away from the coil, the induced current always opposes the motion of the magnet as predicted by the Lenz law, as we have already discussed. Thus, when the north pole of a magnet is moved toward the coil, its face towards the magnet develops a north polarity and thus repel the north pole of the magnet. The work has to be done in moving the magnet towards the coil against this force of repulsion. So, it tends to repel. When north pole is moved toward the coil, then it develops the north pole towards the side of the magnet, so it tends to repel. So, we have to do the work against the repulsive force in order to move the magnet towards the coil. Similarly, when the north pole of the magnet is moved away from the coil, its face towards the magnet develops the south polarity, thus attracts the north pole of the magnet. So, it tends to attract. First case, it tends to repel, and second case, it tends to attract. Here, work has to be done in moving the magnet away from the coil against this force of attraction. This work done against the force of repulsion or attraction, in the case of first case, when north pole, that is repulsion, or second case north-south pole, that is attraction, that work done against this force of repulsion or attraction appears as the electrical energy in the form of induced current and dissipated by Joule's heating. Suppose that the Lenz law is not valid. We think that suppose this Lenz law is not valid, then what would happen? It will violate the law of conservation of energy. Let us see it. Suppose that the Lenz law is not valid, then the induced current flows through the coil in the direction opposite to one depicted by the Lenz law. So, the induced current will be in the opposite direction than that of we predicted first. The bar magnet will then be attracted, and instead of that, it will develop, instead of when we move the magnet toward the coil, instead of north pole, it will develop, suppose, the south pole. Let us suppose it. Then south pole, then it will attract. So, what would happen? Correct, towards the coil and ever increasing acceleration. So, there will be an acceleration. A gentle push on the magnet, little we push the magnet toward the coil, it will start, its velocity will and kinetic energy will increase continuously without expending any energy, because there is an attractive force. So, we do not need any more energy to spend it. If this can happen, if this happens, what will happen? One could construct a perpetual motion machine by suitable arrangement. This violates the law of conservation of energy. System will become self-sustained. Once you push gently the magnet, automatically it will move, and due to the attractive force between the south pole and the north pole, and hence the velocity of the magnet will go on increasing, motion will be accelerated, and kinetic energy will go on increasing, the system will become self-sustained. This is not possible. Without spending any energy, we cannot create the energy. Energy can be converted from one form into the another form. That is, the Lenz's law is correct. Otherwise, if it becomes a self-sustained, then it violates the law of conservation of energy, which is not possible. Example 6.4 on page number 211, that is solved numerical figure, shows the planar loops of different shapes moving out or in. They are moving out, this is moving in, this is moving out, this is also moving out, or in to a region of a magnetic field which is directed normal to the plane of the loop. The magnetic field is normal to the plane of the loop. Away from the readers. Determine the direction of the induced current in each loop using the Lenz's law. We can see that the rectangular loop, that is the magnetic flux through the rectangular loop A, B, C, D, that when it moves in the magnetic field, the flux will increase. The flux increases, the direction of the induced current is, that is anticlockwise. That is, it is this way. Correct? The loop ABCD, the flux through the rectangular loop ABCD increases due to the motion of the loop into the region of magnetic field. The induced current must flow along the path BCDAB. BCDAB, that is anticlockwise. It's easy to remember the anticlockwise. When flux increases, the current is anticlockwise, flux decreases, it is clockwise. Here it is moving out, so the flux decreases, so current will be in the clockwise direction, this way direction. Due to the outwards motion of phi b through the triangle loop ABC, correct? The decrease is due to which the induced current flows along the BACB, that is clockwise. So if flux decreases, induced current is in the clockwise direction. If it increases, it is anti-clockwise direction. Third, here also you can see the flux it is moving out, so flux will decrease, so it will be a clockwise direction. So it is like this. So in this, as the magnetic flux decreases due to the motion of the irregular shaped loop ABCD out of the region of the magnetic field, the induced current flows along the CDABC, that is clockwise direction. It decreases clockwise direction. Note that there are no induced currents as long as the loops are completely inside or outside. There is no induced current if it is completely inside. Once it is inside, there won't be any change in the magnetic flux linked with this circuit. If it is outside, then there is no magnetic field, it is zero. So there won't be an induced EMF. So it is inside totally, then the induced current is also zero. If it is outside, then also zero, because there is no flux change. Next questions. Example 6.5, this is also a solved numerical on page number 211 and 212. A closed loop is held stationary in the magnetic field between the north and the south poles of two permanent magnets held fixed. Can we hope to generate the current in the loop by using a very strong magnet? No, question doesn't arise, because the loop is held fixed. So there is no relative motion, so no change in the magnetic flux linked with the circuit. If you hold the loop, suppose this is the loop. There are two magnets. Say this is south pole and north pole. Correct? If it is held stationary, there won't be any change in the magnetic flux. Whatever lines of force they pass linked with the circuit, they will be the same. See, this is yes. Or even if it is a S pole, suppose this is S pole you take. Then magnetic field lines will go like this. So number of lines of force cut with the circuit, that remains a constant. So no change in the number of magnetic lines of force linked with it, because these are steady, stationary, unless you move. But once you move, there will be a change in the number of lines of force cut with the circuit. That will cause an induced EMF. But if they are stationary, then no induced current is induced. A closed loop is held stationary. It is held stationary in the magnetic field between the north and south poles of two permanent magnet held fixed. Magnets are also fixed. So either it is immaterial whether you are moving the magnet or the coil, but loop, either you move the loop towards the magnets or magnet towards the loop. There should be a relative motion. The induced EMF is generated due to the relative motion between the loop and the magnets. Otherwise, it won't be induced. So no question doesn't arise. No current will, the current won't be generated. Next, a closed loop moves perpendicular to the constant electric field E between the plates of a large capacitor. Is a current induced in the loop? Number 1, when it is only inside the region between the capacitor plates. Number 2, when it is partially outside the plates of the capacitor. The question doesn't arise. Electric field cannot induce the current, correct? So there is no induction of current. Induced current is not generated. So if you place, suppose these are capacitors plates, and that is closed loop. If it is moving, suppose this is a positively charged plate, this is negatively charged plate, the electric field is in this direction. So electric field will not produce any magnetic field. It has only electric field. These are not motional charges. Charges in motion, they produce magnetic field. So there is no magnetic field whether. So if coil is moving, the loop is moving, there is no induction of induced current. So there should be a magnetic field and changing magnetic field, correct? Magnetic field is if it is fixed, then also it won't be generated, whether it is partially outside or completely inside. Question doesn't arise about the generation of EMF enhanced current. So induced EMF enhanced current won't be produced in both the cases. What is the answer? That is, electric field cannot produce a magnetic field. Now next, and see. A rectangular loop and the circular loop are moving out of a uniform magnetic field region to a field free region. From the field region, uniform magnetic field region to the field free region with a constant velocity v. Correct? Do we expect the induced EMF to be a constant during the passage out of the region? The field is normal to the loops. So is there a magnetic, the induced EMF is constant? Here it will be a constant because the rate change of flux will be, that is a constant. Here the area is not constant because flux is B dot A. It's a constant velocity, so there will be a constant change in the area. But here, if this portion is out of the field, this area is less, small one. If this is, here area is more in the same interval of time. So d phi by dt will be here constant, but here it won't be a constant. So in the case of the rectangular loop, it will be a constant EMF, but here in the case of the circular loop, it won't remain the constant. Last one, and see. Predict the polarity of the capacitor in the situation described by the figure. So north pole is moved, both the magnet, here south pole is moved, correct? So when south pole is moved, the polarity is clockwise, so current is like this. So this will be a positive and this will be negative, correct? Upper plate will be positively charged, lower plate will be negatively charged. In the situation described by the figure. Correct? So polarity is clockwise, current is clockwise. From here if you see, then it will be anti-clockwise. The upper plate will be charged positively, lower plate will be charged negatively.